Hi and welcome to the War Bunker. Today we're going to try and recreate a bit of a Kursk feel with a heavily tank-based game. Over here we have the Space Marines, and there are two dreadnoughts with las cannons and missile launchers, a squadron of Vindicators, a lone las cannon Land Raiders, a squadron of las cannon Predators. Deep striking on this side will be a multi-melter and rocket land speeder, and a drop pod with a dreadnought with a multi-melter. Opposing them will be an Imperial Guard squad, including a Basilisk, a squadron of Lehman Russes with a normal cannon, a squadron of Sentinels, armoured Sentinels with las cannons, two Lehman Russes with the Devastator cannon, and just two normal Lehman Russes. Now, we're breaking a lot of rules off Warhammer 40,000 here. It's essentially a tank heavy game. I've deliberately avoided troops. They kind of get in the way, and only had the kind of tanks that would mess things up. So we're going to try an activation system similar to what they use in bolt action. There are 5 here for the different squadrons in the Imperial Guard, 6 here for the Space Marines. I'm going to put those into a bag here and draw them out at random. This will allow, so rather than have like a whole side have a go and probably devastate the other side and then another side, this will make the game a little bit more tactical. Our first circle was red, so I'm going to move these guys forward a total of 12 inches, which is going to put them through this puddle. So 1, 2, 3. There. Nicely arranged with quite a lot of things. Unfortunately, they're going through water, and I've nominated that to be dangerous terrain. So on a 1, one will become immobilised and lose the whole point. Unfortunately, that's 1 does. So I'll put that marker there. Otherwise, they're going to take a shot, I think, at that Land Raider. So they'll need 4s to hit, and then 5s to glance. So first of all, how many hits do we get? We get a single hit, and of that, a penetration. So roll on the table. That's a 6 plus 1. Wow! that's how the game already. Let me just get my first blood to the Imperial Guard. Not a bad first go. Second token is also Imperial Guard, so we're going to put that on there, and we're going to take a big of a shot of these. So this will be the target, and here goes. 2d6. It's bang on target, so it gets 1. Just really that. Yeah, just the 1. It's 9 against 13. So the highest of these, 9, 14. That's a penetration. So it loses 1 whole point. It's also a 6. So yeah, sadly that's gone. So that's obviously gone. Nice little smoke marker there. We have a blue marker. So I'm going to go with the dreadnoughts here, and they're going to over at those. So for our armour here is 14. I'm going to use the dark blue as the las cannons, the white as the missile launcher. Of course I get to reroll the las cannons because it's twin linked. What do we get? That they hit. I now lead 5s on the blue, 6s on the white. I get 2, that's quite respectable. One of which is a penetrating shot. So this one's down to 1 hull point. Rolling, see what happens. It's a 1. It's that be shaken. So this little bugger can't do much. Can't fire. It can move, not fire, if I remember. Next token, also a blue, so I'm going to put it on this squadron, what's left of them. And they're just going to pivot and take some pot shots at them. So a brutal number of last cannon shots coming in. Dark blue with the turret, so I can get to reroll. Needing 3s and ups. Let's see. Without you. They're all hits. Front armour of 12, so needing 3s to glance, 4s to penetrate. So that's 2 glances, so one's gone completely. The next one is stunned and then explodes anyways. So it just leaves 1 remaining, and it's the immobilized one, so they're pretty much gone. Kind of what we expect. It's such a brutal game, to be honest. Next token is Imperial Guard. So this squadron is going to move up 6 inches, which should just put them nicely on top of there, where they can actually try and shoot over some things. And they're going to have a big shot at what's left of those predators. So first cannon away, going to target this, and it moves off 3 inches that way, but that will still be enough to hit. And then the second cannon will same target. That will just be enough to hit as well. Again, not quite enough. It should get a cover save. We'll give it a cover save because it is nicely squarely behind a hill. Although it can, if you look from here, you can see it can just about see over. We'll give it a 4 and up cover save. So against those 2 hits, one save, so it's down to 1 wound. And then we've got a last cannon here as well, so we'll shoot that as well. So 4 and up to hit. It does hit. Cover save 4 and up. Nope. So what we've got is we've got the first shot, which is strength 8 on front armor 13. That's not enough. And then last cannon 5. Do the maths, Mike. That's a penetrating. Please don't let this be a 6 to 1. So that's down 1 hull point. So I'll put that down to 2. And it can move but not fire. Token goes on here. Next token, also Imperial Guard. So I'm going to move these guys up 6 inches, so they'll be able to come just onto the top of that hill, where they should be able to get some better shots. Remember, one of these is wounded and cannot move, cannot shoot. Apart from that, there's 2 shots which they're going to try and take out the Devastators over here. Vindicators even. Now the Vindies are behind a small forest, so they should get a cover save. But let's see if these hit. We'll use this as the target. Oh no, we'll use the central one. So first one is smack on target. That gets 2 of them, unfortunately. Second shot is well off. Oh, but is it? So it's off by 7 in that direction. Ooh, which will get the other one anyway. Poorly placed. I should have moved them. They'll all get a. So 2 hits on there. 1. Yeah, there's a hit on each. So, do any of them get a cover save? Quick. Dice roll. 4 and up cover save. That saves 1, but there's still 2 shots on them. Normal cannon, so it's 8, but it's ordnance. So one's glancing. Second one is also glancing, so 2 glancing hits. You put it onto 1, so that takes that one down to just 1 the whole point. And I'll put the token on these guys. Oh, That's right, he's got one last cannon, so we might as well do the last cannon shot as well. It hits. Do you get cover save? Yes. Well, this plays nicely into the Vindicator's hands because they didn't have much of a target, but now they're all crested on that hill. Perfect targets. They're going to stay right behind there. Do I want them? No, I'm actually going to move them to the edge of the forest, which could be, because that makes them shooting through a little clearer. But it has a problem with it as well. So I need to roll 3 dice to see if they get immobilized in there. So on a 1 they do. And 2 of them have got blades anyway, so could get a reroll. No, they're all fine, they're loving it. So, this payback is complete. Biatch. So here we go. 3 shots on these guys. So first of all, that moves by 7. Middle guys is the target. And where does that put us? Just there. Oh, that's going to just get there. That's actually going to get both of them. So 2 with the first one. Good going, guys. That one maybe less so. So that's by 6. Oh, we'll also get 2. Yeah, maybe not great the spacing. And that's bang on target. Bang on target should get 2 again. No cover save. Weapon strength of 10 versus armor of 14. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. That was basically 2 hits on each. So we'll roll them like this. So that is 2 penetrating on the first. Damn, got to come up with a better way of doing this. 2 penetrating. A penetrating and a glanced. Running out of dice. Where have I put the dice? Here. Bucket of dice. And then finally, another penetrating, another glance. I'm pretty much always gonna, I think, yeah, let's roll, let's do nearest first, so let's apply, let's do the penetrating always first. So first penetrating shot, 6, it explodes, so that's taken off. One's completely taken off, or shouldn't really be taken off, just wrecked. Because most of these weapons have got plus on the vehicle damage table. Second one is also wrecked, which will be this one, which was damaged anyway. And then there's probably enough damage anyway to just wreck, so that whole unit's going to be gone. So let's just running out of smoke markers. Oh no. And the turn's not even finished yet. Next up, the last Imperial Guard unit have to be these guys to move. Now, I was leaving these guys to last because they really need something to come closer to them. Because the range isn't very great now. It might just be enough for the Vindicators, although they're still going to get a horrible cover save. Great tank this, by the way. I really love this adapted Vindicator there. Not Vindicator. Leaving Ross there. So they're in position, going to fire just over there. There will be a cover save because those things are buried in the trees. 2 shots over here, I think. Technically, I think this one is the closest, and it's not likely to survive. First shot. Oh, they'll target the middle one though. First one goes 11 minus 3, 8. I've actually got a maths degree, guys. It's hard to believe it sometimes. that way by 8, just over there. Quick. This is there. Does it get anything? It misses completely. Second shot, come on. That goes off by 5. Just the top of that tree. It's just enough. Ooh, clips 2. Just 2. Each of them get a 4-0 cover save, for sure. So this only gets 1. And does its damage. 2d6. Needing a 3 or more on one of them. It's penetrating. Does it explode? No, but that one is completely gone. Next token is also Space Marine, so this is carrying a dreadnought, and it's going to try and go there. Will it, or will it scatter? Remember, this thing always scatters. And it moves along by 6. That shouldn't quite be enough to worry it. To there. And out tumbles my dreadnought. Exactly where he wants to be. His rear armour, 2d6 penetration. So he's going to take a pot shot at the rear armour. Need a 4 and up. 3 and up to hit. It hits. 2d6 penetration. It penetrates. Damage is a 2. I think it's plus 2, 4. So that will be shaken but not stirred. But down 1 whole point. Won't be able to move or fire next turn. Oh, jeez. Finally, to this turn, we also have a land speeder, which is also deep striking towards here. How far does it scatter? Remember, it always scatters by everything. That's 8 in that direction. So it's pretty much going to be there. Also, right behind the 8 ball. First of all, it's going to try and fire its melter gun, which is a 3 and up. It hits, and then 2 of its rocket launchers, which are crack. Hits with 1, misses with the other. Multi-melter, 2d6 to penetrate. Would be very difficult not to. It penetrates. And what did it do? It does 2, which means it can't fire again. And then this one, the rocket launcher needs a 2. It achieves it penetrating, and it's kind of not enough to make it explode. But that is gone. It's completely gone. It's boomed. Goodbye. Thanks for playing. That was the end of round 1. So at the end of that round, the Land Raider didn't even get a shot in. It's the way it goes with these kind of games. We lost the Predator again before it got its shot. We've lost one of the Vindicators, burning bright. A whole squadron of Lehman Russes are gunning out for the count. We've lost one of the Lehman Russes with the Demolisher Cannon. And, we've lost almost an entire squad of Sentinels. That was round 2. What will round 2 bring? Okay, here comes round 2, and how exciting is this? What I will tell you, no matter what gets pulled out here, is the action is going to probably center around here for the next couple of activations. We have a red. It's got to be this. These two have got to just turn around right now and try and blow those two, because otherwise these are going to wreak havoc to Kingdom Come. We might have just saved the back line by doing this. So, scatter dice. 2 cannons coming right at you, and these 2 things are not terribly well armoured. So, first shot is dead on target on here. The dead on target on here might just be enough, thanks to poor spacing. Spacing is everything. That's a shot on each. Second cannon. Ooh, a little trickier. That's going to be out by 4. So it's just going to be there. That could just be enough for it to... no, that does... I think that's a mess. I'm going to call that a mess. And then one last cannon shot. Come on, lucky 4 up. It's a hit. So, shot on the Dreadnought. Cannon is 8, front armor is 12, so it needs 4. Oh, it's a one glancing hit. Taking him down to 2 hull points. On the Land Raider, Land Speeder. We only had a Land Raider out about now. Penetrating for sure, and rolling dice. Doesn't do it. It's stunned. And the second thing, which just needs a 2 and up. Glance, this gone. It's gone. You're gone. It's blown out the sky. Goodbye. Thanks for playing. So, keeping the pressure up. What is our next activation token? It's a blow. Multi-melter to the rescue, I think. Yeah, that's gonna... He's gonna move because he can. He's gonna move towards that. No surprise, he's gonna multi-melt to the back of it. 3 up to hit. He misses. Then he's gonna try and charge. And he's gonna do that easily. So boom, into contact. Now Dreadnought gets 4 attacks, 5 on the charge. They need a 4 and up for each to hit. How many hits do we get? We get 4 hits. Strength 10, rear armor 10. Anything but a 1, and it's penetrating. Yep, 3 it's gone. Goodbye. Another unit bites to dust. I think this is going to end really soon now. It's not going to be very good for the... And we're gone. Next token, also an Imperial Guard. There's not a lot of Imperial Guard units left. I think it's going to have to be Basilisk time. So, let's try and get a shot off at these Vindicators left. We'll target this one. It could be a bit tricky actually, because it should have a cover save. Again, these Vindicators and their tricky cover saves. So, shot. It's missing. Oh, this is indirect as well, so it should probably always move. By 10, and unfortunately that's a good amount. So that white dice, this one, represents where it's hit. It's a complete mess. You idiots! Next activation token is Space Marines. Ooh, but what to do? I seem to remember this can't shoot, but the other one should be able to, and it's in perfect sight. Ciao! For the Sentinel. Blaze away! So, dark blue will be the turret, which I get a reroll. And we get 2 palpable hits. Front armor of 12, so pretty much need a 3 and up. Which it does. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. 1 activation token used up. You were useless. Next activation token, and there's not really much left for the Imperial Guard, apart from Mr. Sentinel over here. He's going to take a shot back. You shoot me, we shoot you back. 4 and up to hit. He hits. Needs a 4 and up to glance or penetrate. It's a 4. So that goes down by 1 hull point to 2. Next activation token, not surprisingly, is these, and I'm just going to move them forward and try and run them a little bit by 4, because there's not really a lot I can see at the minute. And for the Vindicators, I'm going to have to start moving them because there's nothing for them to shoot at. Try and move them 6 through to there. Now they are moving through cover. We'll use white for this one and blue for this one because that one has got a reroll, and they're both perfectly fine. There's not really anything for them to shoot at. These will just be out of range. So that's the end of turn 2. Actually, not much in the way of it. Oh, we've obviously lost a land speeder. No big surprise there. Much expected. Most of the Space Marines' losses have stayed the same. Imperial Guard, they've lost another Lima Russ. And actually that was pretty much it. It wasn't that much of a heavy hitter compared to round 1. Let's take it into round 3. So round 3, we cannot let this get past. Basically, if these guys don't try and eliminate this thing, it's going to just tear them a new one. These are going to move a little bit so that they can say that they've moved so that they can't get slaughtered. And first shot will go out. Well, it's hit. Because this is quite dangerous, because these guys are so close, it could quite easily move, roll on top of them, and really kind of mess up their life. So that's one hit. That moves by 6 that direction. So just the edge of there. It's. Do I give this? 50-50, I'll give it up. On 4 on up, I'll give it. So that's 2 hits. And then one last cannon shot. Need a 4. Yes! So, first shot is. Penetrates. Second shot. Also penetrate. We don't need to bother. It's gone. I only had 2 hull points left. The initiative is very much with the Imperial Guard because they're written in many ways it needed to be. So Earthshaker, let me fire up your targets. It's going to take a good shot at that. It's going to be enough though. This is indirect. That's a perfect hit. Strength 9, front armor 13. So it needs a 4. No, it doesn't do anything. Waste. That's been pathetic. You're being pathetic. Next token is blue, and so this guy is going to move. This is just going to pivot just to get a better shot. And they're going to take some shots at Port Missile Lone Sentinel. That's 1 turret, 2 sponsor weapons. 2 turrets, 2 sponsons, yeah, because that's moves, it can't really fire its sponsons. Dark blue for turrets, so I get a reroll. Oh, they all hit. Needing 12. It's gone. Damn, that's the end of the Imperial Guard turn at least. So it'll just be nothing but Space Marines from here on for the rest of this turn. They will get 2 shots at this. Does it qualify for cover save? That's a big question. Because technically, one of them from here, it's slightly obscured on one of them, but not on the other. Let's give it a 5 and up cover save. Because one's a sitting duck, one isn't. Okay, here goes. First shot. He's bang on target. Boom. Second shot is off by 2. That which will also be a boom. Do either of those shots, are they kind of going to hit this instead? 5 and up, and they do. So one does. So one shot. 10 plus 4, 14. It's on the side armor, which is 13. That's enough to penetrate. And the damage is a 5. Ooh, this is where it gets interesting. What is the AP on a Devastator cannon? It could be enough to give a +2, and it's bye-bye Lehman Russ. Demolish a cannon. AP2. AP2 will only be +1. So that's a 6. That's immobilized. Not enough to immobilize in the crap direction, but thanks to the power of turrets, I'll still be able to kind of see what there's on the go. Which probably only really leaves those two guys over there. Now they're going to just move out and to there and try and take out the basilisk. The basilisk, which it has to be said, has not been very good. So we're going to call that for an armor strike. Dark blue will be the last cannons. White will be the missile launcher. We got 2 hits. Well, the last cannon we roll. Oh, we got 3 hits. For an armor of 12. So we need 3s. All 3s on last cannon, 4s on everything else. Glancing. It's gone. It's just gone, guys. Boom. So here we are, turn 4. Only with these 2 Lehman Russes surviving, I'm afraid. It's just carnage. Everywhere else, if you're Imperial Guard player, I'm afraid, they've got the token. They're going to activate. This is the last stand. They're just trying to take these guys down a peg. Actually, they still have a... Maybe I shouldn't just call it a last stand. They still have a reasonable chance. A reasonable chance. So yeah, they're going to shoot at these 2 shots plus last cannon followed through. So do they hit? Let's find out, shall we? First shot on target. Boom. Second shot. That's off by 3, but that'll probably be enough to still clip. And the first shot actually should that should get that as well. So that's 3 hits, and then do we get last cannon hit afterwards? No, it misses. First hit. Front armor 8. So that's a glancing, 1 glancing. Second, that's nothing. Third one penetrates. Penetrates with a 3, not quite enough, so that's down to 1 whole point. That's not close, but no cigar. Predators, Vindicators, them, those 2. Oh well, I'd like to say nice flames. Let's actually work it out. These guys will be able to maneuver this turn to here. Will they survive the round? Okay, so these have moved, and so everything over here. So, should we start with the Predators and move backwards? See if anything survives. Now these 2 have moved, which means their side sponsons will only hit on a 6. So let's see what hits. This gets a reroll. 2 hits. Everything else misses. Armor, firepower of 9 versus armor of 13 at that point, so I need a 4 and up. Nothing! This could be terrible. Do you know what? I think if these guys do survive this turn, yeah, we'll call it a Pyrrhic Imperial Guard victory, and they can just vanish. Because that would be amazing. First shot from the Vindicators is on target. Second shot is off by 6 on the first one, which still it's off by 6. It's just going to hit that corner, so that's 2 hits. Needing a 14, so that needs a 4. First does nothing. Second penetrates. Some things already down by 1 whole point. So, and there's a +1 on this. There's nothing, so it's down to, that's down to 1 hull point. Then we'll follow through with those guys. Can they finish off? There's probably going to be side 14 armor. Dark blue once again for the last cannons, which get a reroll. 2 hits. That's not enough. These guys survived to round 4, and they will quietly roll off the table in the next turn. We'll call that. We'll call it that. What a game! Lots of fun. Played really quickly, and you know what? When you've got this many tanks, you kind of want to just go, "What the hell? Let's go for glory." Despite getting a bloody nose first off, that's basically. I haven't bothered too much with points. I've just gone, what have I got that can actually hit against other things? And this has been quite fun. I thought, by the sheer number of Lima Russes, there were loads of them, and they've got so much heavy firepower. A lot of them have las cannons as well. They would just kind of wipe the other side off the floor. Obviously, they suffer from the less ballistic skill, but most of those things have got a 14 frontal armor, and most of the time I was hitting at the front. Had I not been able to blindside them with my land speeder and my dreadnought, I would have been in a lot of trouble. Would really have been a lot of trouble. Being able to get to the back of them really helped to knock those two out, which did help swing things a bit more my way. It was always tricky because they were in pretty good cover, the Vindicators, and they were holding off until they knew they'd have to crest the hill at some point to get a shot at them. Great game, lots of fun. First time I've actually been able to play my son's Lima Russes. He's studying for an exam at the minute, and I said, look, I'm going to do this game. Just calm down, because I've been preparing this for several nights, finding out all the models, and do you really like it? Come on. But no, he's not been interested. Maybe he'll watch the video. If you're watching, hi son. If you've really enjoyed that, I'm going to try and do a few more of these kind of theme games. We've got a lot of heavies for different armies, and just kind of like throwing it all at each other, Kursk style, to see who still stands at the end. Quick games, I suppose apocalypse-ish kind of games. No troops, because the troops kind of get in the way. I'm trying to avoid troop weapon, so if something doesn't have the ability to hit or injure at AP kind of 13 or 14, then maybe it's not probably the right thing to field in the game like this. I've got other Predators, and with autocannons, they wouldn't do anything against these Lima Russes with a front armor of 14. Although I could try and like a Sherman tank, and swoop them around and shoot at the rear. That's all for today. If you've enjoyed it, do leave a comment, and I'll try and think of some more themed games we've got. We've got Tau, we've got Eldar, we've got Dark Eldar. That's what we're thinking of pitching against each other. And we'll catch you later. From the War Bunker, see ya.